So apparently Square Enix has no plans whatsoever of reviving the Chrono franchise. There's no plans whatsoever for a sequel to Chrono Trigger, Chrono Cross, none of that. And who saw this coming? I did. I saw this coming from a mile away. As soon as I saw that trailer for the Chrono Cross remastered Radical Dreamers, I saw this coming from a mile away. I saw the cash grabbing, the cow milking, the desperation, the nostalgia milking, just the I saw the milking from a mile away, because apparently, according to a recent interview with Famitsu, which is a very famous Japanese magazine, they did an interview with Square Enix, and Square Enix revealed they have no plans for Chrono Cross whatsoever, or the Chrono franchise. Now here is a direct quote from Square Enix, and it's quite simple. It literally states, "There are no plans for a sequel or new title now, but no one knows what the future holds." Now, considering that Chrono Cross, the Radical Dreamers, is being review bombed by everybody for its poor performance, for its poor AI upscale backgrounds, just pretty much poor everything. The only thing that it received praise is for the music, and of course Square Enix JRPGs in the early 90s had some of the best music, had some of the best soundtracks to any RPG. I mean, the soundtracks to the Final Fantasy titles are just unbelievably good. I mean, wow, just the music itself, it's like you get so pumped and excited. And the same thing with Chrono Trigger as well as Chrono Cross. I mean, the music really what gravitates you to the story, and it really enhances the story. But yeah, I mean, this is just, I saw this coming from such a mile away, because I mean, just looking at this remastered, you could tell they put no effort into it whatsoever. This is just like the bare bones minimum, because if you're performing worse than what it runs on original console, I mean, the original PS1 version had better frame rates, had better frame pacing than this remastered. I mean, this is just unbelievable, and this is just a nail on the coffin, I guess, because it's bad enough that we fans wanted this for so long, and we got this piss poor version of it. Like, this is just pissing. This is just a disgrace. Like, they are literally just, you know, taking a gigantic jizz on us because they just don't care. I mean, this clearly states, this is just a nail on a coffin for that. They just don't care. And it's just very sad. I mean, honestly, it's very sad. Like, Chrono Cross, I mean, it's not, I don't want to say it's not as good as Chrono Trigger, because I love them both, in my opinion. I mean, in terms of just, I felt like Chrono Trigger, in terms of story, it's harder to follow than actually Chrono Cross. But what I like about Chrono Cross is that Chrono Cross dealt with such mature themes that for its time was very radical. I mean, when I first started Chrono Cross, I was maybe like, I forgot how old I was. I think I was like 12 years old. So some of the more mature themes kind of went over my head. But you know, now as an adult playing, I was like, wow, this is some deep stuff. Like, it's hard hitting, deep psychological, emotional stuff. And I was like, wow, I didn't really see it at the time. I guess I didn't really appreciate it at that time because I was still young. But now I appreciate so much what the developers did, and the story, and just everything about it, more so than Chrono Trigger. But this is just sad. I mean, there's not that much else to say other than Square Enix, they're just pieces of garbage right now for not
taking the care and the time and just, you know, a proper remastered. I mean, this is just a disgrace. I mean, I can't even fathom why people will give this remaster such a positive review. I think it's because they were so desperate, like me, that they didn't care what state it is in. They just wanted to play Chrono Cross because, let's be honest, legally, you know, in the legal spectrum, it's really impossible to play Chrono Cross. Sony doesn't care about backwards compatibility, so I believe it's part of the PS1 Classic, but still, it's like that's probably the only way to play it, unless you could scrounger the original PS1 disc, which they sell for quite a few dollars on actually eBay. The scalpers are really scalping that nostalgia. So honestly, for the legal reasons, there's not that much area to touch play with. And also, I heard I just read recently that Sony's having some technical issues with their PlayStation Store, that a lot of people are complaining that some of their older classic games now just don't even want to run. Don't even want to download, and there's been no word for Sony whatsoever. So, you know, we technically, from a legal standpoint, because Sony doesn't care about backwards compatibility, we need these remasters to be the best they can be. And I feel like now is the time that these remasters, these piss poor, lazy, you know, half beep, you know, these you know, we deserve more. Now, I know this sounds like entitlement, but you know, it's true. It's like we deserve more than what these developers and these publishers are dishing out, because I mean, they just don't care, because they know that we'll buy anything because they're Square Enix, and that needs to stop. They need to start putting in some quality material, and we need to start rising up against that. You know, now is the time to comment below, dislike this video. If you want more of these videos, you know, comment below. I'll try to do as much as I can. You know, I really want to get back into doing more consistent videos. So as always, guys, have an awesome day.